Okay, everybody, welcome back. Sorry I had to pause the video, but it was getting a little bit too long. So as I was explaining before with this else-if statement, these two are pretty much identical, except the only things that are changing are low and high for these two blocks of the function. And I explained it, but I'm going to explain it one more time. And the reason is, say you're searching for the number 2. So if the first time that we call this function, it's going to be sending 0 plus 9 in and dividing it by 2, and you'd get 4. So our fourth element in the array is the number 5. And 5 is greater than 2. Right here, 5, a mid, is greater than our val, which is 2. So it's going to call this function again with the same array, the same value, the same low variable, which would be right here, but then it's going to change the high variable to mid minus 1, which would put us right here in our element. And next time it calls this function, it's only going to be searching through an array of these numbers right here. And then in our other case, say we search for 9, well, 9 is greater than our a mid value at 4, which is 5. So this function would be called again with our same array, our same val, but our mid plus 1, which is our low variable, is going to increase from this element to this element right here. And then you're only left with these values in the array that it's searching for. So each time that this function gets recursively called, it's basically just cutting your array into 2, and then cutting your array into 2 until it either finds the value or it'll return a -1 if the value that you're searching for is not in the array. So let's just compile this real quick and let's make sure that it works. It does work, and real quick in my main function I am going to just make a cout statement. Oh, actually I'm going to put the cout statement here, so that way it's going to see out what value is found. So let's compile it again and let's test this out. So right here, remember that our array is from 1 to 10. So if we want to search for the number 3, it is going to return 3. And again, it's just basically looping through and recursively calling this function over and over until it finally narrows it down to exactly what it wants. And once it finds that value, it's going to return it. Actually, we can change one more thing right here, and it's basically going to say that if if a mid is equal to our val, then we're going to return a mid, because this is basically saying that the value that we found was in the function and we're going to return it. So I think this is just basically going to give us the same result, and and say let's search for 8, and it will return the value 8. Now let's do one more thing here, and we're going to basically just be changing some of the elements in our array, just so that way you guys are believing that this function basically works. And we're not going to change the size of our array, but we're going to change this to 14, just so that I can show you that when you enter, say, 11 or 12, that it's not going to be found. -1 was returned, which means that our number in our array was not found. And the same case works for if you enter a number that's not in the array, or out of bounds of the array, which is -20. That's not in our array, and it'll also return a -1. And same scenario if it's greater than, so 30. Again, it wasn't found, so it's going to return a -1. So that's basically it for this function, and I hope it makes sense. I hope I explained it okay. It's kind of hard to explain recursion without drawing it out and showing what each function is basically being called with. But this works, and it's really, really necessary to know how to do, because it's a fast function kind of that can help you find elements in an array. You can basically find other things if you set different parameters to it. And that's all I have for this video, and I hope it made sense. So I'll see you in the next one.